Hey there, viewers of YouTube. This is Zirkzank says, and welcome to the saneness of Zirkzank. This is like a normal episode. This is me getting back to normal episodes because my mind was very fucking. Why is it green? What is that? The color, auto color shit is weird. Back in January, casting my mind back to what I was doing, what I was interested in, and even around Christmas time, what I was doing. The only thing I really was doing around Christmas time was I was very into space, as in like space travel, and I'm moving around trying to get my fucking face to not be green. There we go, that's fixed it. No, it's not. Do I have to really put my hand over here to stop that green? Space. World of Warcraft, I was playing on Nostalrius. I don't know if you guys remember Nostalrius. That was pretty fun. Except a lot of weird changes happened to it. I also lost interest in that. And fundamentally, before that, overall in life, I found myself like not being that interested in games anymore. I really just don't feel that great when I sit down and play games. It's kind of funny because I've spent the past 5 years of my life in university studying how to make games, and I've got a good understanding of that now. Like how the games that I play, how they work, how I'd make them better if I could. Mostly from like a personal kind of what would make it more fun for me, and what would make it more fun for most people, kind of thing. You get a general sense of that when you do game design. I haven't really done much game design. It's mostly been game development, the techniques of stuff like 3D production workflow, 3ds Max, ZBrush, Quixel, using Photoshop for stuff, Unreal Engine 4, all of these things. That's what I've been doing. It's what I know. I can make games, but I just don't feel that into games anymore. So then it makes me think, should I actually make games? The things that I like doing most fundamentally, that I've consistently liked throughout my life, it's very hard to really pinpoint that and say. The one thing that I've always enjoyed and like strived for having more of constantly is just talking to people and socializing. It's the one thing that when I'm doing it, my mind isn't drifting off thinking, damn, I wish I wasn't here talking to people. I wish I was back at home playing World of Warcraft or Tetris or Minecraft or League of Legends or RuneScape or just the endless list of anything that you could be playing that's not that. My mind is always like, yes, conversation, let's do this. And I really like it. And I realized that now I'm like coming to an epiphany of what that is, what I enjoy. Because I would always like listen to podcasts, and I liked going on forums. I liked doing stuff that was just all it was discussion. You know, I'd like watching people's vlogs, reading blogs, going on forums, talking to people, the whole splang thing of the internet in assisting with communication. I really like that. One of the podcasts that I listened to a lot early on in my youth, when I was a very youthful little lad, was I can't remember what it's fucking called, Noxcast Radio. That was it. It has Robert Benfer and Jason Steele. Jason Steele, better known as Film Cow, and Robert Benfer, better known as Nox's Corner 1 on YouTube, and Nox's Corner on Newgrounds. He was the guy who made the clay animations, you know, with the little blue people, Clay World. And Jason Steele, most famous thing that he made was Charlie the Unicorn, Llamas with Hats, Spatula Madness, Eduardo Spatula Hands, Attack of the Man-Eater Giraffes. That was my childhood, listening to those guys talk and thinking, wow, I want to be as cool as these guys. They made a show called Chaos Pony. Also listened to a podcast called Doomed to be Awesome that had Dom Farah, who was a big influence of mine back in the early days. Dom Farah, best known for the laser collection, but he also is very adamant about music and producing short films. I guess he wants to make longer films, but he's still trying to get funding to do that. I don't know, I haven't followed him for ages, but that's what I used to follow. Anyway, yeah, so discussion was something that I've always been into. I didn't realize that. The more I look into it, the more I think that that's what I always preferred when it was a thing. Like, for example, you turn the radio on, and on the radio, they have songs and music. You know what a radio is, right? You know what a fucking radio is. So yeah, they have songs and music on the radio, but they also have the bit in between the songs where people are talking, and I always preferred the bit where people are talking to the actual songs, mostly because pop music is shit, but it's primarily because I think fundamentally I just like the whole discussion thing. So it's good that I realized now that's what I liked, and that's why I felt like losing my ability to have discussion, is what it feels like, is something that sent me into like a fucking traumatic whirlwind of feeling like I've lost something, feeling empty inside, because connections with my long friends kind of diminished. They're just not talking to me much. They're all busy, I guess, which is fine. And then I made new friends. That was a peak point in my recent history, which I'm uncovering now that I've processed a lot of this. I was looking back in clarity. It was around January. I was really, really lonely because of, just not having anyone to talk to. No one was talking to me, and if they were, it was, not real conversation as such. It was more like the kind of, hey, have you seen this thing? Check this thing out. I look at the thing. Yeah, that's a cool thing. And very infrequent, like when you've got like 5 minutes between a text message, or an hour or a day between each message. So it wasn't something that I could do much, and it really isn't. It really isn't something you can do much. Socializing with people, it's like people have got lives to live. You can't just spend all day talking to people. Like, what the fuck? You can't do that. But I want to, so yeah, that's why I've been making Zirkzank Says. It's like it's a person I can talk to, millions of people. I can talk to billions of people. You, the viewer, are one of the billions of people who I'm talking to right now. So that ability to do that, but it's like I want feedback, as in like I want the response that you get from actually talking to somebody, so we can engage in stuff. That's why I like the podcasts. I listen to podcasts. The most recent podcast I listened to, I was gonna say it was Sleepy Cabin, but it was actually Schmucks, as in the one that Zach, Psychic Pebbles, made in his first episode. I haven't checked the second episode yet. I don't know if it's out yet, but his 0 episode was just him talking for an hour. Then his second episode was him talking to John Tron for an hour or so. I listen to a lot of the Joe Rogan podcast. In case you can't tell, I really like podcasts where people are talking. And I always like shows where people are talking as well. I like comedy and stuff. So I like stand-up comedy because that's people talking, performance. But they have the crowd feedback. See what I'm getting at with this? There are comedians who do podcasts where they don't have any feedback, like Bill Burr. He does the Monday morning podcast. He doesn't he gets around this in a clever way. He doesn't have much feedback because he doesn't have any feedback while he's doing the podcast, but he creates the sort of illusion of feedback by responding to emails that people have sent to him. So it is like a back and forth kind of thing. Now, a lot of YouTubers get comments on their videos so they can respond to comments. I can't really do that because I don't get much comments. I did get some comments from some users, but then this puts me into a weird position where it's like, can I actually talk about the comments that people make? Sure, they posted it publicly, but do they want their identity shown in the video and then me to discuss what they've said? Because a lot of people just don't want that. and it's hard to tell when they do or don't. So I've been getting positive support from people in the comments, and I wanted to just make videos where I respond to the comments. But how long can you keep doing that for, assuming that the channel got popular and had more comments? Like, you couldn't respond to every single comment, and people who you didn't respond to would feel left out, and there would be some people who wouldn't want you to respond to them in a video. And so as a result of them not wanting to be in a video, they just won't comment, even if the comment would be a really insightful one, interesting for people watching. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with that. I could potentially find sources of discussion to make somewhere, somehow. But every time, for me at least, every time I've ever asked someone, hey, do you want to make a podcast? Other than one time where I did make a podcast when I was a lot younger, no one has ever been interested in making podcasts. Because, I don't know, for some reason people just don't like the idea of talking on camera for no reason, or on voice chat, video, for just voice chat without video, podcasts, audio podcasts. So it's a weird position. Plus, here's the biggest thing, and this is what you're probably thinking right now in your head. I'm gonna fucking tap into your mind with my psychic powers. Ready for this? You're thinking, that's all very well, Zirkzank, but who cares what you have to say, and who cares what anyone has to say? Why would anyone watch podcasts? Why would anyone listen to podcasts? Something that my mum said. I don't want to mention stuff like, oh, my mum said this, my friend said this, but when I say my mum said this, I figure she doesn't mind me saying her opinion was that because she doesn't come from an era where growing up with podcasts and comedy has been a big thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm just assuming here. Shouldn't assume. Shouldn't even mention her, but it's my mum. She watches the video. She understands the situation. I'm saying that to a lot of people, basically, this is how I could have phrased this, but I chose not to. To a lot of people, it seems weird, the idea that you would sit down and listen to people having a discussion. And I explained to her, no, it's interesting, because I don't know why it's interesting. I can't say why it is, it just is. It's like, why do you like the movies that you like? Or why do you like the music that you like? It's a good one. I like the way it sounds. I like the way the music sounds. Well, I like the way the film, I like the way the movie makes me feel. I like the way it looks. When you see like a nice picture of like a forest or a beach, palm trees or blue sky or some mountains or a beautiful person, you see them and you can't describe it and say, oh, I like the distance between their eyes, I like how round their eyes are, I like the coloration of the iris. They have a very white sclera. I like the alignment of their teeth, or I like that missing tooth that you've got there. That's very cute. You look like an anime character. I like I like the expression of someone. I like the face. You can't just list off an endless list. You just feel it, and you're like, yes, that's nice. I like that. So, trying to say why you like something, it's bullshit. Don't ask me why I do that. It's because I like it. I like podcasts. Don't ask me why you like the music, because you do. It's as simple as that. Why you don't like something. This is another discussion I'm having with someone recently. It's very easy to see why you dislike something, but very hard to say why you like something. Because when you like something, you kind of like everything about it, other than the things that you don't like. If that makes sense. Like, it's very, very easy to put your finger on things that you don't like, and it's much harder to put your finger on things that you do like. And you can put your finger on things you like, but you'll never be able to do it comprehensively. But you can kind of say, I don't like the drums in that song. You can put your finger on it and you say, well, why don't you like the drums? It's like, it just doesn't sound very good. You get back to that whole kind of it's good, it's bad, I like it, I don't like it. There's no logical thing. You could put it down to like a psychological understanding of it, but that's the point in doing that. Just fucking live life. Don't overanalyze things. I'm just saying, for me at least, wondering what it is that I want to do and feel meaningfully engaged in life is talking in some extent. I don't know how to pursue that. I really like stand-up comedy, and I'm kind of enjoy making videos like this. I mean, I do enjoy making videos like this. I'm trying to play it off as if I don't. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't enjoy it. Because it's not a chore to make videos. It's fun. It's better than doing anything else that I could possibly be doing. Right now, at least. That's why I'm doing it. So, how to pursue that further? This is a question. How do you pursue further what it is you want to do? For me, I could just make more videos, make lots more videos. But I think my biggest obstacle with making videos is running out of things to say and dealing with the fact that it's potential, it's possible that not everyone cares about what it is that I say, or almost no one cares. So, to a certain extent, making videos becomes pointless. I don't think it's pointless if I enjoy the videos, making the videos, but it is pointless if, in some capacity, if no one else enjoys it. So, I want to make more videos, but I really am trying to make them be more interesting and engaging, because I understand that if you're a viewer, you come to YouTube for entertainment. You don't expect to be like, oh, this is shit, why did you make this, and close it. I think that a lot of the time when I see shit content, I think, why did they bother making this? And then I do it myself. Very, very hypocritical. So, I completely understand the sentiment when you say, why did you make this? I say, I don't know, because I wanted to. I felt like it. The same response would be to them people. I look at the video and I think, why would somebody make this? Why does this exist? But it does, and they did, for the same reason that I make this. I'm not going to criticize that kind of thing anymore. Unless it's like, like an ISIS beheading video, in which case, fucking, please, that's not very nice. Don't do it, please. But also, it's just a thing that happens, right? Fucking ISIS, just a thing. Yeah, what I want to do is, I want to do stand-up comedy, but I think to be able to do that, I need to do a lot of it and suck at it for a very long time before I even approach a point where it's worth doing. I don't really have any bits to even work with, and I don't really know where the comedy clubs are in my city. I could start by Googling it, and then start by going to them. Not doing any open mic stuff, just going there several times before trying, get a feel for it, and then realizing that this isn't the comedy scene that I want to be in. And then thinking like, shit, I'd rather be in an American comedy club because that sense of humor is different and better. I don't know. I have no idea. The other thing is podcast. If you're out there and you want to make a podcast, then let's fucking do it. I'm down for that. If you have a decent microphone like this, this is a decent microphone. This is the Audio-Technica AT 2020. It has like a phantom power supply that you need to plug your XLR cables into. Are they called XLR? I can't even remember. But yeah, then the other side connects to a USB port. So yeah, if you got a good microphone and you want to just talk shit, come on an episode of Zirkzank Says, multi-person podcast, infinite number of people, just go on Discord, have a chit chat, and just see how discussion rolls out. Maybe interesting, maybe fucking just unbearably unlistenable, but it won't matter because we'll all learn from it and be able to get something out of it. And yeah, there is that one other thing that people say: why would anyone listen to your podcast? And then for a lot of famous people, as you put it, I put it in quotes because fame is very relative. If someone's not heard of a famous person, are they famous? It's like a verifiable thing. So, what a famous person says, and I don't like using the word, but I'm gonna because it makes this discussion easier. But if a person who's famous and significant says something, is it more interesting or more valuable than when somebody who isn't famous says or does something? That's a real interesting discussion I can have, which is maybe you think why I listen to a lot of the podcasts and why I watched a lot of the vlogs that I did is because they have a following of people who care about the work that they've made, therefore they care about the podcast that they've made. But that's not necessarily the case when you look beyond that and think that there are like the people who do radio or the people who do other kinds of interesting discussion-based media. They're not always people who are famous for doing something else or even famous for doing that. They just create good content. And I'll admit I don't see much of that around. So maybe that is, why people don't see my stuff in the same way that I don't see other people's stuff, because I just don't know where to find it. But yeah, Twitch is a good example. Twitch streaming. People who are nobodies, like everybody's a nobody. That makes sense. Everybody's a nobody. You could argue that someone like Will Smith is not a nobody because a lot of people know him, or know of him, but he's still technically a nobody person. Like everybody's a nobody. So I forgot what I was saying before that, and whenever I forget what I'm saying is always a good point to end the video. But yeah, if you want to do discussion and you feel up for a discussion about something, let's do the Zirkzank Says podcast thing where we just talk shit. Doesn't matter that we're fucking nobodies, because we can have real discussions. We can have funny discussions about the latest memes. We can talk shit about certain things in life that exist. We can get very deep and philosophical. We can talk on very shallow things. We can mumble and stutter, because a lot of people do when they're on video and stuff. But yeah, going forwards, finding answers and making plans of action to do stuff. That's what we do here on the Zirkzank Says video series, podcast, vlog extraordinaire. Just throw that one in there, extraordinaire, because it's extraordinary. Better than ordinary, extraordinary, extremely ordinary. That's what this is. And thanks for watching.